Yeah, I mean, obviously coming into a new league, a lot of high expectations. I think when we came in, and the Southland's gotten really good really quick. If you look at the whole tournament, everybody that made the tournament field, like everybody's really close. So I think winning it against such a tough field means a lot. But probably the biggest thing is just this group of girls really deserves it, and I couldn't be more proud of them and how quickly they came together, and just a group about being bigger than themselves. We've talked about it all year long as being part of something bigger than yourself, and this group's really embraced it on the court and off the court, and that's just what showed. There's been ups and downs, there's been injuries, and they've just been able to, someone different steps up. Seems like someone different steps up every single night, and it's kind of fun because then we get a different scout every single week. Like at this point, and scout, we're just like, well, this is what we think they're gonna do, but it almost is. We see it as scout based on who performed really well the night before or the weekend before, and then we see, oh, they're going to come out and try to stop the outsides because the outsides had a big weekend, and then the next week, oh, the middles had a great weekend, so then they're like sitting in the middle of the court. So it's just been fun, and having the girls make in-game adjustments and still improving.
First up, you have Houston Christian, a team you're very familiar with. You've seen them a bunch over the last few years. What are you expecting out of that quarterfinals matchup?
They always play well at the end, and I think they're a little beat up. They're a little beat up here at our place, so we don't know exactly what to expect out of them, but they gave us a lot to handle up there early in the season, and I think last year they went in kind of unknown, and I think they gave SFA a big handful the first night out, so I think that's kind of what we're expecting. We got a good coaching staff there and kids that want to compete, so we got to basically handle our side of the court is what we've been talking about, and we do everything on our side at a high level that first night, and hopefully take care of business.
Coach, after such a long season and now conference tournament, what's the energy like from the team? Do you guys feel like you're kind of at an uphill trajectory?
Yeah, I spoke to this last year as we went through our first year in the Southland. The travel's just different, for one thing, and there was a couple years in the WAC where I felt like we were playing our best volleyball early on in October, and then we would have 2 West Coast trips in October, and then we would like almost drag into conference tournament, and we felt like we were beat up mentally and beat up physically, and I think it's just the opposite with this group. They're flying high. Like I said, practice was amazing on Monday, and they got challenged today, and I think it was good for them, and that's what this group's done is they've handled adversity really well, and then they seem to come back better. So like today's practice was meant to be a little bit adverse and challenge them a little bit mentally, and then I think it was nice to just see them respond to it and go on the road. But I think the energy of the team, like they know we never talked about a regular season championship through the whole course of the year, and even once we started getting close, I think like 3 weeks ago, there started to be, I told them like, hey, there's going to be a lot of noise over the next couple of weeks, and how do we just leave that outside the gym? Because the regular season was never this team's goal. From day one, we said we wanted to be playing our best volleyball in mid-November, and how do we take every single game from the preseason and through the conference play to get better, to really be better at the end of November, and I really think that's where we're at. Probably playing our best volleyball that we have all year long right now.
Winning the SLC championship, being able to have that under your belt already going into this tournament, how much more do these girls want it to win it at the end and go all 3 games?
Yeah, I think it just adds to it, and maybe took a little bit of pressure off them. I think winning 14 in a row, you have big long winning streaks, it starts to create pressure, and I think now they got the reward of that long winning streak, and now they're really like, hey, it's 3 in a row here.
And Coach, so when you get into that conference tournament kind of atmosphere, just what is it like playing day after day and kind of gearing up one match right after another, and I mean, being that this is the kind of everything you guys are playing for that ultimate berth into that NCAA tournament? Yeah,
we talked about it, and early on we played 2 or 3 matches in a 72-hour period, so the girls were used to it. I think for us, I think it's almost an advantage. This is as deep as we've been, so I think that's an advantage if we can go out and play some people early on. Maybe get people, even if it's a set, somebody gets to rest a set, or if somebody's struggling. I think we're very confident with people coming off the bench, and I think over the course of 3 days, that's going to happen. You're going to have some depth to get you through the tournament. It's always that way, and I think this is as deep as we've been going into a tournament, as healthy as we've been going into a tournament. So it's adrenaline at that point, you know, and I don't think this team, I don't see fatigue or anything like that being a problem for them. So they're super excited to go play.
Speaking of that depth, I mean, early on in the year, you were trying to figure out where to put new pieces, only had 3 returners. And now I feel like you have 8 or 9 that you can count on every single game. Can you talk a little bit about some of those players that you guys have that are really making those big contributions to the team?
Yeah, I think the 3 outsides to start with have been through and had to even go to the right side a little bit. So Martina, Nadine, and Demi have just been getting after it on the outside. And I think that competition, what's fun about watching them is it's created a bunch of competition in our gym, and they really get after every drill because they're competing with each other. But then to see those 3 be each other's biggest supporters when it comes game day is probably what's really nice about this group, and it showed. And when one of them's off a little bit, it's so easy as a coaching staff knowing that the next person up is probably going to go in and get it done, and also just feeling like one of them could always move to the right like we did with Nadine when Valley was off a little bit. So just having that depth in the pin position, and then obviously Naju's back healthy. She was out for a little bit in the middle of the season, so getting those guys back, and Giovanna's come in and played some points as well late. So I think we're good there, you know, and I think that's probably the biggest thing for the group is just the depth and finding how they all fit together and finding a rotation that works. And but how quickly they came together has probably been the funnest thing.
And the offense right now, I mean, you guys are on a historic pace. You're hitting, 270, something like that, which is top 20 in the nation. Can you talk a little bit about your setter and how she does a good job of balancing all the different weapons she has, making those decisions?
Yeah, I think we have weapons in every position is what's made us good, and just the in-game adjustments like I talked about. Like we go in with a scout and we think we know what we're going to do, and I think probably more so this year we've really followed scouting reports probably better than we have in the past, which has been kind of fun. And then their ability to make in-game adjustments. I think that's something that we struggled with over the last couple of years is being able to go in, and there was a lot of times last year where we'd go up 2-0 and other team would make adjustments of us, and either we couldn't make adjustments back or it took us a long time and we ended up in 5-set matches after being up 2-0. I don't think we had as many of those this year. I don't think any where we were up 2-0 we weren't able to close. So I think that's probably the biggest thing is just the ability, her ability to change in the middle of the game, and as she gets more mature, you know, she's a junior now and running the show for 2 full seasons now, and just her sense of to feel who's hot and who's not. I think she's just developing as a setter, and I think that's probably one of the things that she's really learned this year, and just been able to like, hey, if an outside's really hot in the front row, they're probably hot in the back row too. And you've seen a lot more attack from the back row and in system, not just as an outlet. So I think just her maturity as a setter and that sense of the game to who's on and when they're on or what situations are going to allow her hitters to be successful has been a big part of our success.
It was amazing. I didn't even think that it was really possible. As a middle blocker, it's kind of hard being able to get those like accomplishments, especially weekly and stuff. So I just went out this week. I mean, it was my birthday, so I just had a blast on Thursday at Northwestern and then just finished it really strong on Saturday because I knew what was at stake. It was us and SFA head-to-head, and I knew if we got the first win, like we were confident in our seeding, and we were just waiting to see how their game went. But at the end of the day, like I wouldn't been able to do what I did without my team and without the coaching staff. So really, it's a huge accomplishment not only for me, but it's a team accomplishment as well.
Speaking of that team, obviously another big accomplishment was the conference championship. How did that feel to get that accomplishment?
I was crying. I made a promise to my mom that I would get her a ring before I graduated because, I mean, she had me quite young. The very next year that she ended up leaving school, that team ended up winning their conference and going to their tournament and whatnot, and they got a ring, but of course my mom was able to be there. So I made a promise, like, hey, like once I figured out the school that I wanted to go to and it was here, I was like, I'm gonna get that ring before I leave. So I owed it all to her. And I mean, me and Leah, we started getting close in the spring, and she promised me before we had even left for summer break, like, we're coming back and we're getting that ring, and I'm gonna get you that ring. So I said, okay, and she kept her promise.
Julie, you seem to have lost your voice a bit. How much cheering and yelling went on when you guys won the championship?
So much yelling and screaming and just, it was insane. I've never talked so much in my life. Usually, like, after like a bad point, like on myself or like a mistake, I kind of just like go quiet, or I'm just like, oh, like y'all got the next one. But like, no, Marty said from the very first break, like, hey, like if I miss my serve under the net again, or if I hit the ball out, or if Leah does a hitting error, whoever does an error, like we come to the circle, we take a breather, and we say we got the next one. So I think just having that confidence with them, and anytime I would get off the court, I was smiling the whole time. Like literally, like it was just endless smiling. Coach enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I think everyone except who we were playing enjoyed it. But yeah, I lost my voice. I'm trying to get it back before we leave and stuff, so I could give them more energy, but right now it's not coming back.
Julie, being able to win this conference championship together as a team, what do you think that says about what your team and the amount of work and dedication and time and energy y'all have put in throughout this whole season, and to top it all off with winning conference championship?
It speaks a lot about the team. I think a lot of people forget like what really goes on like behind the scenes, like whether it's in practice, whether it's in study hall, whether it's in treatment, whether it's you're being injured and you're on the sideline, whether it's you're sick, you can't travel, or it literally can be anything. Like no one really sees and recognizes what really goes behind closed doors, that we're able to use that and then go and apply all this crazy pressure to the other side when we're on that court together. I think just being able to trust one another in every little thing. It's very hard for me to trust. I don't like the idea of it, but I mean, I was able to open up and give these girls that, like, from head to toe, everything I got for them, like the blood, sweat, and tears coming back from last year, you know. I just had to leave it all in their hands. Like, it wasn't just Julie and UTRGV, and it isn't just like Coach Lowery and the team. Like, it's a full UTRGV volleyball program, that everything that goes on behind the, like, on the court and off the court, that we really try and show everybody what we're really about. I feel like everybody thinks we're underdogs. Like, oh, yeah, we only have like 2-3 seniors that aren't coming back, but like everybody else is. Like, we're a little young, but I mean, we got Dimitra, like, who don't know where she came from, but dang, that girl is good. That girl is great. I think just remembering, like, hey, it's not just about you. Like, it's a full team thing. And so we just have to trust in one another and just trust, like, what the coaches are saying and what we are saying to each other in order to, like, keep it going. I mean, we got 3 more games to go. It's not over yet.
And speaking of those 3 more games, heading into the SLC tournament this weekend, you know, how have practices been leading up to y'all leaving tomorrow?
So we just had our second practice before we leave. I think yesterday's practice was definitely when we came in, we were excited. We get to walk in and see like our cool little trophy just sitting there every time we walk out to go set up the net. It's just like, yes, we did one part of it, but we still got a long ways to go. Yesterday's practice was amazing. This one was a little rocky, but I mean, everybody was in their fields, and I think it's time just to shake that off, because tomorrow when we get on that plane and we realize, like, hey, we're on the plane and we're gonna go, like, it's single limb. It's no more like, oh, you get to play this game and then try and fight back the next. Like, no, it's you leave everything out on the court. It's 100% or it's nothing at all. So when you step on that court, you got to give it your all. And I think with this little practice that we had today, I think everyone's still eye-opener, like, hey, like, we're not done yet. Like, it may not have been our best practice leaving, but we just know that we have a lot of fight and we have a fire lit under us, and we're determined to go get another banner that not only says regular season champs, but tournament champs as well.